Hey, all my fantasy football friends. Welcome to the Multiple First Dynasty Football channel here on YouTube. Today, I am your host, Tony Stash X on the Sleeper app, and we are going to be talking about Dynasty trades today, baby. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us and look at some trades. It is just a red hot time of the Dynasty season. We got rookie drafts popping off all over the place. It's awesome. I'm loving being on Sleeper right now. Community is super active. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and close friend, Greg the Velociraptor. How are you today, my brother?
I am swimming in rookies. It's great. My teams, my teams are floating. It's fantastic. Uh, Doing wonderful. Uh, Tony, how is draft week treating you?
I'm just dripping in rookies too. I mean, I got all these leagues where I'm making like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 first round picks. I'm making trades. I've made so many trades, and that's why we're here today is to kind of talk to you about some of them. But man, it's cool seeing the way your rankings flesh out against other people's and who's fallen and who's rising. We were talking a little bit before the show here, but like, who do you feel like you're getting a lot of? Who are you feel like you're passing on? How's your rookie drafts going?
Well, I'm getting a lot of my favorites. I'm getting a lot of Anthony Richardson, but um, some guys that surprised me, right? Some things I didn't expect are that I'm getting a lot of Tank Dell, and I also find myself getting a lot of Tucker Kraft. I think those are two players in rounds 3 and round 4 who are coming in a little undervalued for me. I think Tank Dell, for my money, I've got no Josh Downs. I've
Yeah.
got no Jalen Hyatt.
Yep.
I've got so I've been a little bit south on taking the bet on these very small wide receivers, but in the late third, early fourth, I've gotten several fourth
Yeah.
round shares of Tank Dell.
Yeah, I bet.
Like
Yep.
this is a guy who has a chance to be the leading receiver for his team on day 2 draft capital, which would lock him in to a medium term role. I think there's a lot there. And then Tucker Kraft, I just keep thinking the last 2 times I can remember a team spent 2 high picks on tight ends.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of them was one of them was New England, and they both busted, if you recall that one.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Baltimore, and we all remember the guy they took second ended up being Mark Andrews.
Yep. Yeah,
And
Hayden Hurst was
so
the first
to
one. Yeah.
me, I'm getting some fourth round Tucker Kraft or like 310, 311 in tight end premiums,
Yeah.
or even in 2 tight end leagues. I got him in the fourth round in a start 2 tight end. I think uh, he was a top 7 tight end for me coming in. He got top 90 draft capital, which is good. So those are the 2 guys who surprised me that I'm getting lots and lots of shares of those guys.
Yeah, man.
What
Kraft in the
about you?
fourth. Yeah, Kraft in the fourth round. I like that. You've turned me on to him, and it's kind of my go-to tight end that late. He's definitely a fourth round target. I'm getting some good Jalen Hyatt in the early third. I'm getting a lot of Rasheed Rice. I'm getting a lot of Richardson early. Feel like I'm missing out on a lot of Gibbs shares, or he's just not falling to me because I'm taking Stroud at 4, and Gibbs doesn't usually make it to 5. So I'm getting 4 and 5 consistently Stroud. So I've a lot of exposure to Stroud, a lot of exposure to Quentin Johnston because I'll take him over Addison at 7. So I'm getting him at 7 and 8 regularly. Pretty interesting stuff. We're here to chop up some dynasty trades. We got a lot of trades queued up for you. We're going to try to get through as many as we can. We may not do all of them. The first trade up here is made by our co-host here, Mr. Greg. The Velociraptor sends away the rookie 108, the rookie 303, the rookie 406. Those are traded away, and Greg acquires Rashad White, Tampa Bay running back, and a 2024 first round pick. Let me be the first to say, good job here, man. This is a great deal for you. I love this. I feel like this is basically a 2-for-1 if you just kind of write off the 3 and the 4. That 24 first by itself could easily become more valuable in this 108, depending on that team. Then you're getting a nice starting running back, Rashad White, and a team that's probably going to look to run the ball a lot. So, yeah, I would say 10 out of 10 here, sir.
Yeah, so I gave up. I would have taken Quentin Johnston here. The
Yep.
person actually went up for Dalton Kincaid, but I would have taken Quentin Johnston.
Mhm.
But um, I think there's every chance that over the next 2 to 3 years, Rashad White outscores Quentin Johnston, and then you're getting this free run. The back end picks that I gave up ended up being Jalen Hyatt. There's a guy I didn't get any shares of, but so there's a pass. There's something I passed on, and then Darnell Washington, and another guy I have no shares of.
Yeah.
So like, to me, getting that bonus 24 first round capital. Well, I wasn't in love with how 108 fell in a lot of my leagues, and if you can get out for a player who has high second round value and next year's first, I love that.
Yeah, that's tremendous, man. That's really good. I love this for you. I would absolutely do something like this every single time. Rashad White's not some super special runner, I don't think, but he's walking into what looks like a heavy workload this upcoming season, and definitely want some of that. Good job, dude. We're gonna go on to the second one here. So another Greg trade. So this is Velociraptor trading away 111 rookie in 2023 and a 24 third, trading those away and acquiring a 2025 first round pick, a 24 second round pick, and the rookie 305 this year, which lands as Cedric Tillman.
Yeah, so one of the things about tiers for me so far has been that I think the first like 5 to 6 picks of round 3 have some fringe second round talent, like Cedric Tillman. He's not going in the second round anywhere, but I think he merits consideration on the same tier as guys going 210, 211.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking at like, the 111 pick and those top wide receivers are off the board. So this is Dalton Kincaid in a non-premium is what went here.
Yeah.
I would have been thinking about Jonathan Mingo. So like to go from Mingo to Tillman to me is not that much. Like,
it's not.
It's
You're dropping
not
a round and a
that
half of NFL draft capital, right? Early second to mid third. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is kind of how I'm seeing it. And then you're able to go ahead and get that future first. And, I asked for the 24 first. He didn't want to give it to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take the 25 first, but then you have to pay interest.
Yeah.
And so I got that third for second swap next year as sort of interest for taking the pick 2 years down. I felt really good about the work I did here.
I love it, man. Rates are going up. Rates are going up right now on the loans. Yeah, I mean, you drop down a little bit up front, you get a swap up, and then you get no swap, just kind of freebie 25 first round pick. I absolutely love banking that. I love stacking up those future ones. Not even just because you can draft players, but also that becomes ammo when you are in season and you're looking to push. If things are good for you, all of a sudden you have more things that you can trade away, put your team over the top.
One more thing about this deal, I had 201, and I took Jonathan Mingo. So one of the things there too is I knew the guy I had top on my board there, because it's a non-premium. I think it's a little pricey. Had a good chance to get to me at the next pick anyway. So like, that all worked.
That's good, and that's called having confidence in your rankings too. Where when those picks are rolling up to you in these drafts, where things are not guaranteed anywhere or the other, and especially the further down the first round you get, things become more variable from league to league. But as you get down there, you're confident in your rankings, and you could wait on getting a player you would draft now. This is how you abuse that, is by trading back and still getting that player anyway, and getting more stuff. So, good work there, sir. 2 excellent trades on your half. So right here we have another one. So Greg trades away his 23.
I want you to skip past this one for a moment.
All right, all right. We'll go to the next one.
I made 2 trades in the same league, and I want to do them in order.
All right. Let's do this one first then. Yep.
Okay.
So
this is not that same last league. So this one is a 1 quarterback league where which I think is important. Obviously, Stafford changes the value there a lot in a superflex, but to me, so in a 1 quarterback league, I think Deontay Foreman. This was like an hour after the Murray news, So the Murray news hit. Someone got excited, and they asked for a bunch of pieces for the 112. It's hard for me to even know what late rookie picks are worth, or like even what quarterbacks in the one quarterback leagues, because I don't play enough of them.
This is a
This is
single
a
quarterback
14
league.
team one
Oh, okay.
quarterback league.
Yeah, yeah.
14
All right, that
team
makes more
single
sense.
quarterback league.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, but this is you trading away Stafford, Gronkowski, Latavius Murray, Gronkowski, Stafford, Gronk, Latavius Murray, and Dante Foreman are traded away for Mike White, Jalen Camp, and 112 Jalen Camp, the wide receiver for the Houston Texans.
I immediately cut him.
Yeah, I
This
think
was
he's
an
pretty far down
incoming
the depth
trade.
chart. Yeah.
This was an incoming trade. I was like,
This is
all right.
basically Stafford swapped for the 112, and I don't mind it. Depending on the state of my team, I might rather have Stafford, maybe if I'm really, But if you're quarterback hungry and you need to keep him, you wouldn't make a deal like this. But all things being equal, and my quarterback situation's fine without him, this is a fair sell on Stafford for me. And everything else in this trade is just noise as far as I'm concerned, except for maybe Foreman.
All right, now jump down to all right. So I believe we can move on from that guy.
Yep.
So this one
with Lamar.
This is I made this trade and the Dalvin Cook trade. I asked you to skip on in the same league back to back. This is me trying to do something a little different and get rid of my picks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I sold Christian Watson, who I love, the 104, which in this draft ended up being CJ Stroud. Could have been Gibbs, right? But for me, it would have been Stroud. And my future first for Lamar Jackson, Samaje Perine, and a pick 210.
Yep.
How do you feel about the work I did right there?
This is fair for Lamar. As someone who's shopped around and tried to acquire elite quarterbacks a lot recently, usually you got to give up a 3-for-1 of this nature. Usually one of these high rookie picks that we're dealing with right now, where that person can replace their QB, and then a 24 first is often involved in deals like that, and then some sort of mid-range flex player. Usually on the younger side, Watson. So I would say this is market for Lamar straight up, and you get some nice sprinkles in what is probably a startable asset for most weeks of the season in Perine, and then whatever gold you can dig up at the 210. I like this trade a lot. I would definitely make a move like this if I felt like my team was one quarterback away from getting over the hump.
Yeah, so this is a team where it's half point tight end premium. I'm sitting on Kyle Pitts, and then full PPR, and start 3 receivers and 3 flexes, and I'm rolling Jefferson, Waddle, Olave, Ayuk, Elijah Moore, some other guys, and I was sitting on Geno Smith, Mac Jones.
Right. So yeah, you got to add someone. You got to add a QB1 into your team, and this is a good way
I was
to do
like, yeah. So what I could have done is gone the CJ Stroud and build it up that way through. All of a sudden, I've got Stroud and Geno, but like this is like let's just tear the Band-Aid off. Let's fix this.
Let's get this quarterback sorted out. Yeah. Yep.
So then I cascaded that 210 pick. Go back to the Dalvin trade. That's why I asked you to move on.
Right. These
so then
each other. Yeah.
I gave up my second round pick and the second round pick I had just gotten for Dalvin Cook and a second round pick from a bad team.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. I mean, the 23, the 210 and the 24 second, I feel like wash for me. That's like if I'm sitting in the back of the second, that's kind of what I would want in order to trade. So it kind of becomes Dalvin Cook for the 204, and very obviously, if you're competitive, I think you're looking for Cook. It's interesting because probably the 204 is in like a startup right now. A player that would go at the 204 is probably drafted ahead of Cook, but this is a fair swap to acquire him.
Yeah, and so I had a build with Pitts and all the wide receivers, right, and then I had an ETN hero RB build.
Yeah,
and now I've put Cook and Perine behind that as like a 2-3, and then I got some of these handcuff backs in with some of the later picks, and that's how I've built it up. But I feel really good about those moves. Oh, and then I was able to I was able in this league to add Tank Bigsby um, with a third trade. I traded back in, traded a future third for a high third, and got Tank Bigsby. So I think I turned myself into a contender in this league. Um, with some of these deals, and it's very against type for me to move all of my rookie picks and be out of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about the overall construction of pivoting into a contend window like this?
No, I love it. That's exactly what I preach. Is I like to take the first year as a setup year to kind of amass your assets and put yourself in a position where you're drafting players that are a year away, and then all of a sudden you can kind of hit a big crescendo of those players evolving into starters. The picks that you've amassed, you could flip them for vets, key vets to fill roles like you got Lamar, like you're getting Cook here, and then you can also draft players. You can still take your shots within the draft because you had such a surplus of picks to begin with, and it's a really flexible, powerful way to draft your teams, and I love it. It just involves a year of waiting usually, but I like what you're doing here.
All right, now let's look at some of your moves.
Yeah, man. So I got some interesting deals here. So we're gonna start off with an absolute gangbusters. This is right in the same vein of what I was talking about. I had a league where I had 7 first-round picks in 23 and 2 in 24 and a bunch of seconds across both years. And I was a little bit weaker on the front end, but I have key pieces in place. I'm trying to pivot into a competitive front-end build. So I trade away the 23 103, the rookie 106, the rookie 110 and 11, and a 2024 first-round pick from another team. So that's 5 first-round picks Stosh gives away. And for that massive haul, I'm acquiring Jamar Chase and Breece Hall, Antonio Gibson, and I get a rookie 3.4 as well. So, just trying to get players in place. The 106 ends up being Jamar Gibbs, so if I thought he was going to be available, I probably would not made a move like this, maybe. But I like this as a buy to get some elite players.
Right. So you give up Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
And so you feel Gibbs is sort of sideways-ish to Hall.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like it still. My only question here would be, what is the tight end format? I think 10 and 11 have very different value depending on the tight end format.
Yeah.
This year in particular.
Yeah, this is a half-point tight end premium league, and there's another trade I made we're not going to look at, but I acquired Kelsey in another move right after this to kind of bring everything together a little better.
Well, but yeah, just in terms of the value at the tight end position.
Sure, yeah.
Like, if you're in those high tight end premium leagues, then all of a sudden, those,
the Laportas and Mayers,
Kincaid's going up,
yeah,
and then no, but you're not. You're talking about a 1 tight end half point premium. You're not talking about a 2 tight end full point premium or anything like that. Okay, so I like this deal quite a bit. I just think you got the 2 best assets in the deal at the end of the day. Well, that's hard to say. No, you got the first and third best assets in the deal. Bryce Young probably has a higher startup value than Breece
I
Hall.
think so. Right now, they're real close. Yeah.
Very, very close. And then you paid a lot. I get why the other guy did this.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. I mean, I don't. Giving them 5 first-round picks in the deal is a lot. We danced around this for a while. But I'm happy with the deal we ultimately made. I was trying to keep the 6 as a 107, and we went back and forth on that a lot. But getting Antonio Gibson I think is an interesting buy low right now too. So
I agree.
Yeah, I like that. But we'll move on a little bit here. Moving on to the next Stosh trade. So this was a little more straightforward. I trade off a trio of picks in the rookie first round, the 109, the 110, and 111. And I acquired Jamar Chase for giving up those 3 first-round picks. And then there's also a swap of me sending away my 3.2, and I go into the 4.6. So a little baby swap on the back end. But basically, the 9, 10, 11 for Chase. It's kind of the same as the last deal, honestly.
Yeah, so I think that this is no, it's not, because you're not giving up any assets in that top tier.
Yeah.
Like the only way I don't really like this deal is, like, again, if this was some sort of 2 tight end with a large premium, then 10, 11 feel more valuable, and then maybe you overpay. But like in any kind of normal league where 10 10, 11 start to feel like they're closer in value to 204,
Yeah, that's what it feels
then
like.
I don't mind this at all.
Mm. Yeah, I like making this move. I was really stoked about this. I actually had the 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 in a row, and I took Johnston and then started slinging offers, and this one popped. So pretty
Smart.
satisfied with that.
By the way,
Yo.
I want you to note there
Mhm.
that like making the first pick and then sending the offers takes away their opportunity to be like, no, give me 8. You keep
Yeah, it
11.
does. That's a general strategy. That's good. That's a good general point for drafting. It doesn't have to be rookies anytime. So, anytime you find yourself with like multiple picks consecutive, 2, 3, 4, sometimes you'll see that, especially drafting in the corners, and especially when you're making a lot of trades. And if you're looking to continue trading, the way to approach that is make one of those picks, make the first of those picks, and then trade the second one. Don't try to shop the second of those two while the first one is still on the clock. You're never going to find a deal that way. That's a big time struggle. So just the general strategy for back-to-back drafting. This one is kind of crazy. I put this one up so we get a little laugh. This is me sending an 8-for-1 trade away in a league where I'm just begging for roster spots. I'm so overloaded on spots because I've made way too many 2-for-1s. But this is maybe getting a little greedy, a little overzealous. But I trade away the 104 rookie, the 205, the 308, and then 4 quarterbacks: Baker Mayfield, Mike White, Zach Wilson, Malik Willis, and Alan Lazard. Just throw him in there, and I'm giving up 8 pieces, and I get CeeDee Lamb in return. So, kind of insane. Go ahead and make fun of me for it.
I mean, so this is a trade where you can't really evaluate the trade without taking into account the value of the roster spots that you're gaining.
Squeezed, yeah.
Because
10 bench, I think.
like you're okay. Like if this is a 40-man roster league, I don't love this trade for you.
It's not,
because like the 104 is worth less than CeeDee Lamb, but not that much less than CeeDee.
Yeah.
And then like Alan Lazard is a starting receiver in most dynasty leagues this year. Like it'd have to be a pretty thin league for him not to be really useful, I think.
Yeah.
And then Baker Mayfield's a starting quarterback, and then you've got like these various upside shots and the second round pick, and like the value is clearly on the package side, except for the value of those 7 roster spots you got.
Yeah.
Which
are filled out after the rookie draft because I had so many picks. It's crazy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So I this is a good example of making a Godfather offer to clear out space if you find yourself in that position.
There you go. I appreciate the kind words. This is what that is. This is a Godfather offer. This is after several days of slinging offers and just getting stonewalled. I just had to force something through that opened up roster spots and got me some sort of elite talent. So this is what we did. I don't know. Kind of regret it, but we're in there now. Now this is a trade of, so I go and acquire the 101 in our next deal here. I know people have been, if everyone everywhere has had conversations with their 101 owner in their leagues. If you own it, you've probably talked to 3 or 4 people about it, if not everyone. So this is a successful deal that went through for the 101 in a Dynasty Superflex league. Tight end premium. But I trade away the 104 rookie, the 202 rookie, the 209 rookie, and James Cook. And I acquire the 23 101 and Isaiah Likely. It's a 4-for-2 trade.
Yeah, this strikes me as a win-win, and the other guy won bigger. That's my evaluation.
Sure.
I don't know what he did with that pick, but
we don't know yet. We're still waiting. Yeah.
Right. So like, if he's sitting on 101 and thinking, this pick has to be Bijan, but did he earn 101?
Yes.
Okay. He's thinking, this pick has to be Bijan, but I'm not a running back away.
Mm-hmm.
I need to turn this into a quarterback and stuff. Well, it turned it into CJ Stroud and high second, low second, potentially the Bills starting running back.
Yeah, potentially. No, totally.
Like 3 seconds, right? He turned it into CJ Stroud in 3 seconds. Think about it that way, right? Like that's, he probably did, on the calculators justifiably well.
Yeah.
But
it all takes is one of those rookies to miss. Yeah.
these are the kinds of moves you can make when you have a lot of picks and you have a contending window. And I think going and getting Bijan is something that most people aren't going to regret most of the time.
Yeah, I just want to put this out there. Like this is probably the ceiling I would pay to acquire him. The way this started out was me sending him the 104, 202, and Cook for 101, and he added the 209, and then I added Likely, and that's how we came to terms here. So it was close enough to the original deal, and the 104, 202, and Cook I think is something most of us would do to get to the 101. So it's interesting, but that's about what you're looking at to acquire Bijan to actually push a deal through. This is probably the lowest the 101 owner would accept. All right, and then we got one more deal here. So this one's sweet. I actually picked up an orphan, right? This is a sweet orphan because it had Justin Herbert and it had 3 first-round picks this year. Okay, and this is also an orphan in a Dynasty Empire Pot league that already had $1,500 in the Empire Pot, and I just get to walk in there this year. And no one's on pace to claim the Empire Pot this season, so like I could potentially take a bite out of this massive pot they've been building for 4 years, and I just jumped in the league. But within hours of joining the league, I was able to negotiate this deal to sort out my number 2 quarterback spot and my wide receiver depth, which is I trade away Javonte Williams, Denver running back. I trade away the 105 and the 111 rookie, and I acquire Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Jones, Khalil Herbert, and DeAndre Hopkins in a 3-for-4 trade. And this is how you get in my opinion, this is how you get an orphan back on track. So something like this, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is worth those 3
side.
assets.
Yeah.
And I would take Trevor Lawrence over those 3 assets by himself.
Oh yeah, I would too.
So I mean, I don't know.
No, there's not a lot of
that's brilliant.
This is good though.
There you go.
Yeah, love it. But yeah, man, that's trades. I think that's the last one, man. We're at the bottom of trades.
Yeah, that's been excellent.
That was great. What else is on your mind today, sir?
No, I think that mostly covers it. I mean, we talked about some of the guys we're getting and some of the guys we're not getting. One thing I've really enjoyed is I have a few leagues where I have stacked Young and Mingo. I also have a few leagues where I have stacked Musgrave and Kraft. So that, those are some things that I just want to throw out there into the wind. If Musgrave makes it into the 303 range, and I've got a late third, I've traded up, grab Musgrave, and then grab Kraft at the back end of the round. And then if I happen to have Bryce Young, I have made moves 1-2 spots to make sure I get Mingo. I think I think those are 2 coordinated moves that I kind of really like. What are your thoughts on the entire class? Anything else you got?
Yeah, mostly it's just weaker. I don't think we're going to get the production we were hoping for a year ago at this time. So that's kind of disappointing, but it's a lot of fun to draft these guys. You love seeing quarterbacks be loaded. It's a very active environment. Relative to last year, a lot of my rookie drafts went through with almost no trades, and then this year all the rookie drafts have several trades going down because of just the elite talent at the top and the just the big tier breaks that there are in this class. So it's cool, just cool drafting and watching the trades go through and stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess most of my drafts are well underway, but one of the few that hasn't started yet starts in an hour or two is our show league.
24/7, yeah, baby.
We will probably get back to you guys in a few days with our 24/7 draft results. We are up with our 102 coming up shortly here. All those picks. Somehow we ended up with all the picks from the 3 hole there.
Chad Sterling was generous. He handed them off. Yeah, but we made a lot of inquiries to get the 101, and just nothing has manifested there. So I think we're going to end up sitting and getting A-Rich here, unless any given Sunday breaks down a little bit.
Yep, and of course you love to see picking out of that last spot because it means everything is gravy.
It means you're the champion, baby. All of our self picks that are in the 12 hole. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll get you we'll probably do a full breakdown of this rookie draft as it happens if we make any trades. Thank you so much for joining us today, friends. We're going to keep it right there, 30 minutes. Like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about the cool trade show you watched today. Link me some trades, and maybe you can be featured on our next video. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful day.